All right, how's it going, YouTube world and onefinity users? Making this little video here because I'm having a small issue flattening some epoxy on my onefinity Elite Series CNC machine here. So me and my buddy were flattening his pretty cool epoxy table that he made a little while back last night and ran into a little issue. Was having some troubles here flattening this, and the troubles are, I will explain. So as it's carving, I just did a pocket tool path like it would flatten anything else. In the middle of the carve, it's dropping Z height. You can kind of see that with all these little spots here. So every once in a while, it's just bumping down and dropping Z height. And my buddy actually was staring at the CNC machine and watched it happen. We were trying to figure out why we kept getting deeper and deeper down the road throughout the whole tool path when it shouldn't have. This thing should end up pretty close to flat. So I'll explain my thoughts on why this is happening. I'm thinking of some sort of static electricity, static interference, because I've not had a problem like this since. I've flattened a few other things, flattened a little slab table that I made that was mostly wood. There was a little piece of epoxy in it, but I didn't notice it do it when I did that. And obviously that's just a little bit of epoxy, so that might not create enough static electricity to cause this to happen, where this is all epoxy. Tried a few wood sample pieces, after we were getting mess ups. Nothing happened here. Everything went clean and smooth. I'm using the Makita router. I do have the power cord ran through the drag chain. Yeah. The weird part was too, I noticed, as we were CNCing and running different tool paths and just trying to take out the high areas, it didn't start messing up until it was in carving the epoxy. So, let me explain. I did one full big tool path for the whole thing, and it actually started all the way over here. Because of the height, it didn't even touch the epoxy until it got to here. And we were looking at the machine the whole time. Did not turn the Z height at all in this area until it started to hit epoxy. So that's why I'm leaning towards some sort of static interference from the epoxy. Very odd. I haven't had this happen before. I'm curious if anybody else has. Trying to figure this out. I have not wrote onefinity yet. I've had the machine set up for about a month now. I bought it last year and I just finally got it set up. I love it. Everything's been great. The masso's awesome. Yeah, really, there's nothing to complain about, and I'm not talking crap on anything with it. It's a great machine. I just think that this is something to do with this epoxy with the interference. So I'm trying to figure it out here and see if I'm thinking right of why this is happening, and try and figure out what I need to do to fix this so that this doesn't happen. So yeah, I mean, that's my thought, is that it's some sort of static interference. I did a little bit of research. Some guys are saying to ground your machine from a few of the different points, from really all the axes, X, Y, Z. One guy ran a ground to each one and grounded everything out. Some guys ran some shielded cable. Some guys were saying don't run your power cord through the drag chain because you could get interference. Some guys were saying change the brushes, as if they weren't wearing out, that could cause more interference than, I guess, if they're new. I don't know. I haven't found anybody who's having the exact issue that I'm having. Everybody else's issues are just a little different. One guy had something up with his X and Y. Couple other people said their machines just stopped in the middle of the carve. So I haven't had anybody that had their Z dropping in the middle of a carve when it shouldn't be. It should just be a flat toolpath. So I'm hoping that I can reach out to the old interweb here and YouTube and forums and see if we can figure this out. I'm curious if anybody else has had this problem. I imagine maybe. I just haven't found any videos exactly like this. That's why I wanted to make one. I actually have not wrote onefinity yet. I'm going to do so. Again, like I said, I don't think it's anything with their machine. I think it's just a static interference problem. So if it is that, I'd like to see how I could fix it, because I want to help my man flatten his. And I just made this one for myself here, and I'd like to flatten it. And probably some more in the future. So just wanted to put this video out there to get any feelers to see if I can get this figured out. And if anybody is able to help me with any information, or if had this happen to yourself, appreciate any input or comments that you could share with me. Hopefully I and somebody else and you guys can figure this out together and have this fixed and not happen anymore, because it kind of sucks. It was aggravating me yesterday, so I had to stop before we got this table any worse, because it just kept going lower and lower. So with that, I will end that there. I appreciate you guys checking this video out. If it's had anything to do with something you guys have had a problem with too, yeah, again, share any comments you could down in the section below. And yeah, that's that. I guess if you'd like to check out any of my other videos, you're welcome to. Not much of an uploader, but I do have a couple videos up. I'm quite random with it. But yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to make this video. See if I can get any info out there from out in the world. Get this thing fixed up so I can get back in action here. Appreciate you watching again. See if we can't figure this thing out together. And guess that's it. You guys have a good day and take care.